TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello, hello.
Well, this week we'll talk about many things, but also there was a big wave of terrorist attacks again here in Israel, and even terrorist cell from Syria trying to cross our borders and come into the state of Israel to do some terrorist attacks, and much more. We also have some TGR news where our new website's finally up. Ola and wonderful person by the name of Donna, who's been with us for decades, have been working together and putting up a beautiful website, much more modern, hopefully to make your experience when you go there to thegoldenreport.com to make your experience easier and better and whatever.
Go check it out and tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, tell us what you think about the new website.
Yeah.
There'll still be more changes coming because, it's just a transitional phase. But first, let's say thank you. This week, we were able to actually do two deliveries. One earlier in the week with different products. It was especially for the holiday table so that they would have more of the blessing of wine. They would have more sweet stuff and stuff for the honey and stuff, because the Jewish New Year's, which is coming up this week, is a holiday where traditionally the table's a little bit fuller, and also you have a lot of sweet stuff in tradition. The sweet stuff, especially honey, is to symbolize the coming of the new sweet year. Yeah. And how good it's going to be. Yeah. And then, of course, on Friday, and then, of course, on Thursdays, we still had our regular food delivery. So it was a blessing to be able to do both of them this week. And it's all because of you guys. Everything that you guys are doing here to help the people here in the state of Israel is such a blessing, and it is such an amazing thing, and such a witness to the people here in Israel. It is. It's just beautiful, and it's amazing to be a part of, through you guys' hands. And we thank you, and they thank you, and everyone thanks you. And God, I'm sure, is happy what we're doing here. So praise the Lord, and thank you so much. Well, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it. Over 1 million people came to the Queen's funeral. Never has one person brought so many people together in our lifetime.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. 1 million people lining up the streets. It's just, I've never seen anything like that. If you don't think this woman had effect on so many people's lives, then you better watch the news again.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's just something you had to acknowledge. It's just, it really is an amazing thing to see that many people come out to see one person's funeral.
Yeah. It's
wonderful. On Friday night, almost a week ago, Israel made yet another airstrike in Syria, making it the third in 2 weeks. This was an airstrike taking out more weapons that were from Iran to Hezbollah. The recent uprising in attempts to receive weapons from Iran is Nasrallah's attempt to threaten us over the gas rigs over the coast of off the coast of Haifa. Yeah. This has become a big thing, these gas rigs, and it's ridiculous that our Prime Minister Lapid is backing down and allowing them to dictate what we're doing and not doing. But we'll get into that. On Saturday night, 2 more terrorists were caught armed and with intentions to kill Jews. Abu Mazen, the head of the Palestinian Authority, was seen calling his people to go out and make terrorist attacks on Israel land because of the upcoming Jewish holidays, trying to disrupt our holidays. It's just,
he's pretending to be our friend. He's like sharing with us intelligence and stuff, and trying to take care of the terrorists from within, but it's not true. Yeah. He's encouraging them to go and kill Jews.
Yes, which is a new thing. He's always been sort of the
neutral.
Externally, what he actually says, what you can actually see him doing and saying. He's always was pretty good at hiding his intentions and acting like he wants peace in Israel. Mm-hmm. But now he's finally coming out and showing his true colors.
Yeah.
On Monday, a young Jew on his way to pray was attacked by a group of Arabs. They nearly beat him to death with bats and broken bottles. This is something that's happening more and more and more. And there's some horrible things that happened this week that we're going to get into here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Well, also on Monday, the Shabak arrested 7 Arabs that were planning a large terrorist attack later this week. They were caught with plans written out and large amount of ammunition and guns.
Yeah, this was Monday was a big day in Israel.
Yeah.
This past Monday.
Yeah.
So far we've talked about a couple. Now this is the second thing that's happened on Monday of this week. It's it's like we're saying, it's getting more and more.
Thank God we just got them before.
Yeah.
They planned something really big.
Yeah. Well, as well on Monday, Arabs opened fire on a car with intent to kill the Jews while driving. The car had a few bullet holes, but no one was hurt, thank God. It was just another thing that happened on Monday. Monday seemed to be a big day.
Yeah.
It was a family in the evening driving down the street in a little hatchback, and all of a sudden they're getting fired at, and they have bullet holes through the car, everywhere through the car, from the front to the back, and thank God no one was hurt. But the most newsworthy event on Monday was a terrorist cell from Syria that tried to set up some explosives on the border to kill Israeli soldiers on patrol. The IDF was able to stop them and catch one of them. There was 4 of them. 3 of them escaped back into Syria, and one of them we were able to catch and interrogate him and find out a lot of information that this is something that the terrorist cells in Syria are really aimed at doing now. It's the new thing is to try to put booby traps and IEDs on the border where their IDF soldiers patrol to keep our borders safe, just to try to kill them, right? And who knows, maybe like many years ago, Gilad Shalit, if they were successful of blowing up the vehicle or something and capture one and take one, like they did many years ago in Lebanon. Not only does Israel give this is back to what we was talking about the gas rigs. Not only does Israel give all the electricity, water, and sewage services to all the Arabs that call themselves Palestinians, also in Gaza and in the rest of the country, as well as give enormous amounts of water to Jordan. Now, Prime Minister Lapid is headed to a deal with Hezbollah, to give them gas for our gas rigs for free. This is just him backing down from the threats of Nasrallah, the head of a terrorist organization, Hezbollah, which happens to be also the government in Lebanon right now.
Yeah.
This is a huge thing. Whatever happened to not negotiating with terrorists? Whatever happened to standing your ground, doing the right thing, even if it costs?
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It
really is. And
yeah.
It's getting worse and worse. And right now Lebanon, we know, is real close to being in a uprise and hopefully a coup and getting Hezbollah out of the government, which would be be wonderful. Depends upon who. Lebanon, many years ago, used to be a great country that people used to go and visit and go vacation. Beirut used to be called the Paris of the Middle East because it was so beautiful and wonderful. And hopefully one day they get back to that for the people there. But they're fed up and tired of it. And also part of it is the gas rigs. They realize that all the money that Nasrallah is probably going to get from these gas rigs, he's going to keep for himself and his terrorist attempts and everything else.
They just fed up with this and they say, that's enough. That's just enough. We don't have electricity most of the day.
Right.
No food. No, people, I heard the story. That woman went to the bank to get her money.
Yeah, that just happened last week.
Windrow, so she went with a gun.
Her own money. They won't give them their own money. She had to withdraw money for her sister's cancer operation, and the bank would not give her her own money. So she came with a gun.
Yeah.
And robbed the bank for her own money.
Yeah.
That happened this week. On Tuesday at 4:30 in the afternoon, an 84-year-old woman was killed by an Arab who beat her to death by beating her in the face and head until her death. It was horrible. This happened in Hulon, which is a city near Tel Aviv in the center of the country. This was insane. It was a young Arab guy. He had just finished working. It was a construction worker. They have video of him going to a little store, convenience store, buying a beer, drinking a beer, and leaving. And then he waited in the construction area where he was working as this 84-year-old Jewish woman just walked down the street. He jumped at her and just beat her to death by hitting her in the face and the head. I mean, it was insane. An 84-year-old woman. This is a young guy, probably. It looked like he was in the early 20s, right? And man, anyway, they found him later. He had took a bus to Tel Aviv and hung himself or something.
Yeah.
All those details are still not very clear, but that's what it looks like. He hung himself and just put an end to his own life. Hopefully, because he just couldn't live with what he just done.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either.
Israel is considering putting a lockdown on the Arab cities to hopefully lower the possibility of unnecessary deaths in terrorist attacks during the holidays. So every holiday lately, we're expecting rise of terror attacks. We also know we have intelligence on some terror attacks
and there is a rise
planned,
going
and there
on.
is a rise. So it's like every time we're hoping for a holiday, we're expecting for a holiday, we also have this mixed feeling of, okay, maybe it's too dangerous to go out, maybe what's going on,
Yeah.
So,
but right now it's just talks and ideas of it happening. I don't think Prime Minister Lapid has the strength to
I know what you meant.
and to be able to actually make a move like that, even though it's necessary. I don't know. Hopefully these holidays will go by without a lot of this kind of news coming to you every week here on TGR News. With a death count of who knows how much is possible with the uprisings happening right now.
Yeah.
But we hope and pray. Hamas activists in Nablus turned the streets into a war zone by shooting and attacking all Palestinian Authority agents in sight. This happened on Tuesday after Israeli security forces arrested a Hamas terrorist with plans for a terrorist attack. The Hamas activists believe that the Palestinian Authority helped the Israeli forces. This is something that was an internal thing, where the Hamas activists in Nablus were attacking the Palestinian authorities in Nablus because they just came up with an idea that
Yeah.
well, I don't know how I want to talk about this piece of news. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, let them work it out, Go at it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it about that. What's next?
After the speech this week of the liberal leaders of both the US and Israel President Biden and Prime Minister Lapid, it was clear that they do not have their country's best interest in mind. It is not possible to say you have your security in mind and then talk about two-state solution and allow Iran to continue with their nuclear project.
Yeah.
It just
This was a
can't
speech they
work
had at
together.
the UN. Yeah, this was ridiculous. These two men standing up, acting like they care about the countries they're representing. And yeah, it was this. You watch it. Well, I watch it because I have to watch it because this is what we do. We have to keep up with what's going on in the world and talk about it and everything. But it's just ridiculous to watch. It was like I felt like I was watching a TV show with actors more than I was thinking I was watching actual leaders of countries talking serious and from the heart, right?
Yeah.
So it was more like watching a sitcom. And just ridiculously and bad acting at that. If I have to put it to it, it was bad acting, like acting like they care. It's ridiculous. It's just like he said. How can a person stand up? Like, let's talk about the U.S. Right? How can President Biden stand up and say things that he's taking so seriously, and he will not allow Iran to become a nuclear power and have nuclear weapons, while everything he's doing is the exact opposite of what he's saying. And then Prime Minister Lapid stand up and say that he takes the security of Israel so serious, but in the same breath says that he thinks we should have a two-state solution, meaning give a lot of our land to control over the Arabs, who are terrorist organizations, who the only thing they'll do with that land is use it to grow stronger and be able to attack us in a better advantage point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just ridiculous. Like I said, it was like watching a sitcom. It wasn't like watching the news.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything you want to say?
No.
So now what are you going to say?
That's all. That's all.
That's it. Well, don't forget to come and check out, like Ola said, our new website at thegoldenreport.com and tell us, come back here to the YouTube and write a comment after you checked it, or write an email or whatever, and tell us what you think about it. It's important because the whole reason we redid it is for you guys to hopefully make it more enjoyable for you guys to be able to get what you're looking for there.
Enjoyable, convenient, easy to
Easy.
access.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So don't forget to join us there at thegoldenreport.com. And until next week,
Shabbat shalom.
God bless.